All right, look, so I had a thought about this game, and that thought is whose responsibility is it to change the culture of this game? Because I just left a match where I had a pretty toxic teammate who, you know, it's just bad. Said all types of, wild stuff to me. And anybody that's played this game has experienced this at one time or another, or maybe contributed to that sort of mentality. But since the onset of this game, the culture feels like it has been one of, just being negative towards your teammates. Not really even like, for the most part, trying to have a good time or make friends or be supportive. It's mostly like you get into a match, you make a silly mistake, you go down, which it happens to the best of us. But then you get a teammate that ridicules you the whole time, and maybe says some off-color comments, or you know gets racial, whatever the situation is, right? Um, and then your whole experience goes left. So whose responsibility is it to change the culture? Because I personally have experience where when I feel like I'm in a bad mood and my games aren't going the way that I would prefer, I tend not to say anything. But let's just say on one instance, I get really upset about what happened that match and how it's being played by my teammates. Um, and then I decided to speak on it. Um, who, how should one approach this game, and who is going to be that force for changing the way that people interact with it? Um, you just get a lot of nasty, evil people who are supposed to be your partners and teammates and comrades and all this stuff. But if you don't play the game exactly the way they think you should, even if they aren't the best player on the game, and or what they're doing is uh, not impressive at all, or even if it is, that shouldn't give you the free reign to just, you know, call me all type of racial slurs. And I know there's women on here that get called, derogatory terms, and maybe um, some homophobia flies around, all types of slurs, racial, for many different groups. Um, so how do we change the culture of this game to where you want to talk to people, and it's not trying to be, it's not trying to be the baby version of what it was like playing video games in the early 2000s on Call of Duty, where every white kid in America was throwing the N-word around because you were a faceless, nameless entity. Um, I don't know, just a thought.